இந்த வீடியோவை வழங்கியோர் ஐஸ்டீல் டிஎம்டி கம்பிகள் உடன் வழங்கியோர் சென்னை மொபைல்ஸ் மற்றும் சத்யா தமிழகம் எங்கும். 2.0 வந்து ரிலீஸ் ஆகின்னு கொஞ்ச நாள் தான் வந்திருக்கு. இந்தியாவோட பிக்கெஸ்ட் மூவியில் நீங்களும் ஒரு பார்ட்டாக இருக்கிறதுக்கு வந்து எந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து ஹாப்பியாக ஃபீல் பண்ணுறீங்க?
It's a wonderful experience. When I say wonderful, I mean that working in the most biggest, expensive film of the country has its upsides and a lot of questions, a lot of curiosities from different parts of the country, and I feel privileged to be in this production and working with actors like Rajinikanth sir and Mr. Shankar. It's a privilege to be part of this amazing Magnum Opus, as they say. So I had been extremely lucky to be part of it.
Superstar Rajinikanth அவர் கூட நடிச்ச எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பத்தி.
Working with Mr. Rajinikanth had been one of the humblest experiences of my life because his persona, his way of presenting himself to the world and presenting himself to the co-actor is extremely humbling, and I think most of the actors in the country, our country, could learn from him how to be huge and yet simple, how to be of that stature and yet consider yourself an ordinary man. So I think he is one of the greatest example for all Indian actors to behave themselves ordinarily and not to consider themselves very important.
2.0 ஷூட்டிங் ஸ்பாட்ல நீங்க ரொம்ப என்ஜாய் பண்ண விஷயம் அப்படினா என்ன சொல்வீங்க?
The most enjoyable moment in the film for me is when I had to do a lot of imagination because of the VFX. Things were not there and I have to imagine things are there. Things were not at all moving around and I have to imagine that things are moving around. I think that's the fun part.
Akshay Kumar avroda performance patti.
Sharing screen space with the greatest mega star that India has, and his acting around the non-existent imaginary things that Shankar has introduced in the film. So it had been a lot of fun, and it's always fun to work with the VFX team and they follow the instruction that they give.
படத்துல உங்களோட கரெக்டர் எந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்?
The character that I'm playing in Robo 2, I'm not supposed to talk about it. You have seen me in the trailer a little bit playing something very important character, important person in the country. So you would know once you see the film. I'm sorry, I'm not in the liberty to talk about it.
Director Shankar actors வந்து எந்த மாதிரி வந்து ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுவாரு? அவர் உங்ககிட்டயும் ரஜினிகாந்த் அவரையும் வந்து ஹேண்டில் பண்ண விதத்தை பத்தி.
Working with Mr. Shankar is a wonderful experience for the simple reason that he's so gentle, he's quiet, he's steady, he knows exactly what he wants, and he comes to you with absolute clarity. I haven't seen him losing his patience. He's steady, he's respectful. It had been a wonderful time working with Mr. Shankar, and he's equally respectful to each of the actors that I have seen him working with. So I would love to work with him again. I wish him all the best for the film.
Off screenல ரஜினிகாந்த் அவர் உங்ககிட்ட என்ன மாதிரி விஷயங்கள்லாம் வந்து பேசுவாரு?
I had few wonderful chats with Mr. Rajinikanth working with him during the shoot. One of them was about an ad film which he rejected about a big company because he thought that the product which he was asked to endorse was unhealthy for the consumption of the public, And I heard that story long back. I think it's around 30 years ago. I heard the story a few years ago that he rejected that ad film because he found out the product was not good for the health of the public. And he was given a lot of money, but he refused to do that. And when I heard the story, I felt extremely lucky that I'm working with a person whose integrity about endorsing something in spite of getting a lot of money is intact. And so that was an example, and I'm very inspired by that example. I try to follow. And so when I asked him that, is it true? He said, yes, it was true. I can't talk about the product, and unfortunately, for various reasons. And also working with him on the set was, as I said before, it's very humbling that how he accommodates the co-actors, how he helps the co-actors as well, and how he also agrees to do one more scene, one more shot, if it is not done well, if he thinks, or if all of us think that it's not, we should take it one more, and without any hesitation he does that. So it's a wonderful experience.
இந்த வீடியோவை வழங்கியோர் ஐ ஸ்டீல் டிஎம்டி கம்பிகள், உடன் வழங்கியோர் சென்னை மொபைல்ஸ் மற்றும் சத்யா தமிழகம் எங்கும்.